Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste we have from 1810, although I think this current recipe is from 2020. Old Overholt Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, aged 3 years, bottled in Kentucky Beam Suntory. No website listing, non-chill filtered. The new red cap. You search around, you can also find the bottle in bond, 100 proof. This is 86 proof. The competitor, Dickel Rye. George Dickel, the company is founded in what, 1870? Yeah, 1870, I thought so. Mellowed, mellow as moonlight. Chill filter, so they're bragging. It's chill filtered. They're bragging. It's non-chill filtered. It's chill filtered, non-chill filtered. That's a better way to do it. That's a better way to do it. So, if you look at the old George Dickel ads from the 1910s, 1930s, 40s, they always saying, we use chill filtering, which is a better way. Now that's looked down upon, you see. Tyler Mansell says, clinking the mugs, clinking the mugs, clinking the mugs. Way on the West Coast, late at night or early in the morning, Tyler Mansell joining us. Dickel, embossed bottle, long neck bottle. Rye whiskey, doesn't say straight rye, just rye, meaning what? Well, there's no age statement, so we know it's aged at least 4 years. So it's not the age problem, because rye whiskey has to be a straight whiskey, sorry. Straight whiskey has to be aged at least 2 years. So why isn't it called straight? Because almost invariably the reason is they're aging it in used barrels, not first run oak barrels. Oh well, still tastes good. And it's not Kentucky whiskey, it's Indiana whiskey. It's produced in Indiana at Midwest Grain Products for Diageo in Tennessee. So it's a contracted product. Charcoal mellowed by George Dickel. Now, if you look at the website, it's really charcoal mellowed by Midwest Grain Products. They send their barrels up there. Pretty sure that's what it says. Let's look. George Dickel Rye is one of the only ryes finished in the chilled charcoal mellowed style that has made our rye whiskey, our whiskey distinct. Distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Midwest Grain Products, formerly Seagram's Distillery, until 2000, the year 2000. Our rye is spicy with an exceptionally smooth finish and is a great choice in classic cocktails like the Old Fashioned and Manhattan. There is a new label. This is the older label. But, that they change labels. What can you do? Specifics. 90 proof, 95% rye, 5% malted barley. It's a number 4 barrel. Barrel char number 4. But it may be a used barrel. And a number 2 head. The head of the barrel is level 2. So moderate charcoal level on the head, but the barrel itself, the sides, is number 4. Heavy, heavy charcoal, the alligator char. Where to find it near me? Well, I'll tell you where I found it. I bought this product at Walmart, and they had it on a closeout for $12.50, and that is no lie. Let's see, frequently asked questions. I'm trying to pin down something. Where can I find George Dickel Cascade Hollow? Is no longer being bottled at this time. Well, that's a redundant statement. Is no longer being bottled at this time. All they had to write with is no longer being bottled. Because we are at the time we're reading the statement. Actually, though, there could be a little bit of a hint in there. At this time, implying that doesn't mean that it won't be bottled again in the future, see? So you got to kind of pay attention to some of these little, they might have written it that way on purpose. Oh, well. I was trying to find out when they introduced the rye. Well, I know. Well, I don't know, because you see, the George Dickel 12 and the number 8 recipes were introduced in 1964 when they renamed it. Like, they used to have a whiskey called Cascade Whiskey, George Dickel Cascade Whiskey, but they might have always made a rye. You see, they might have had a rye alternative from the get-go. So we can't put too much emphasis on it. Cheap and Foodie Kayla said, this is going to be a good one. I think so. Morning, says Hector. Good morning to you. Matthew Wallace says, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Now they got 4 people commenting, but 2 people watching. Guess I bored them. Made them bored. Okay. Old Overholt Rye. OR. Beautiful rubberized cork. Now look, you're not going to find George Dickel Rye for $12.50. You might find it for $18.50, perhaps, but not $12.50. Nope, ain't gonna happen. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna die. All right, so they're both copper, but the same shade, so I don't really have to worry about the color throwing me off. Old Overholt was $15.98 at Walmart. $15.98 at Walmart. Checked the price the other day, same price, $15.98. It's been that price for years over there. Now, when they came out with this red cap, because I went over there to buy it, and they had red cap and black cap. So I said, oh, they changed the recipe. I mean, no, I didn't say that. What am I thinking? I know that now. I said, oh, they changed the labels, what I meant to say. Oh, they changed the label. So I bought the red cap because I knew I knew it was newer by virtue of I had never seen it before. So I'm doing a review, and then I start seeing people talking about, I'm talking about the video reviews, Old Overholt 80 proof, Old Overholt 86 proof. So I'm like, why are they giving 2 different alcohol levels? So then I realized, they changed the recipe from 80 proof to 86, and from chill filter to non-chill filter. So I said, oh, let me go back to Walmart and get the black cap, so I can compare and contrast the 80 older recipe versus 86 newer recipe. Guess what? They were all gone. And I checked out the stores, gone. I said, oh, well, too bad for you. But my friend David found one bottle left at Rouse's on US Highway 61, corner of US Highway 61 and LeBar Avenue. And I said, oh, yeah. I think it used to be Schwegmann's. But anyway, I said, yeah, I'll take it. Without a doubt. So I paid him for it, and we'll get to that one day in the not near future. Okay. It's raining. I thought I was going to be cutting the grass today. I said, I can cut the grass. It's going to look so nice. But that's a minor problem compared to what Kentucky and Tennessee is dealing with. I think they're having a lot of bad floods in Tennessee, especially Kentucky right now, because of all this rain. And I noticed Buffalo Trace gave an alert on Facebook. We are not, what did it say? Due to unforeseen circumstances, we are not going to be given tours today or tomorrow. I said it must be a flooding. Maybe the Kentucky River is overflowing or something. So my problem is, I can't cut the grass. It was looking scraggly though. And I was going to cut down the stuff that got burnt from the freeze. But I guess I'm going to have to wait till Thursday. I don't know. Sickening. But like I say, no big deal. Having your house flooded in Kentucky is a big deal. Okay. Smells like rye whiskey, meaning what? Spicy. I can't describe rye if you've never had it, so there's no use even trying. It's just spicy, that rye spice. You can go to the grocery store and get rye bread. Then you're going to see what it's like. Nope. Can you explain what bottled and bond means? What's the point of it? Okay, I can't go too much into. My nose is itching. It's like literally itching. It was a law passed in 1897 during the William McKinley administration that was passed to ensure purity in whiskey, because there was a lot of problems with fake whiskeys on the market, dangerous products, adulterated, watered down, maybe like 5% straight whiskey. The rest was just filler and all kind of stuff. So people claim there was a need for this law. Probably it was big time whiskey producers making the claim because they wanted to have a strict law to run out a lot of independent companies. Usually that's what's behind these regulations. But so they passed the Bottle and Bond Act. And if you read about it on the internet, it'll give you their strict regulations they have to follow. And some people will only drink bonded whiskey only because they want that purity guarantee. Although these days, is really not an issue. But all bonded whiskey is 100 proof. 100 proof, 50% alcohol. And it also, they come from 2 different seasons, spring or fall. So it'll tell you spring or fall season. There might be a thing where they have to be aged a certain amount. And it's called a bonded warehouse. So that's what it is. It's a regulation. They used to have a green tag on the neck, sealing the bottle, a green tag from one side of the neck around the cap to the other. There's a green stamp, Bottle and Bond. I had a Bottle and Bond whiskey once, the Old Crow, 1977. Thank you, Bobby Futch. He said, I'm never going to drink it. I said, why you gotta? I said, well, what are you going to do with it? He said, maybe my son will take it. I said, well, if you ever want to get rid of it, I'll take it. I said, I'll even buy it from you, Well, the next day at work, he brought me the bottle, the unopened Old Crow Bottle and Bond, 1977, age 8 years. That means they put it in a charred oak barrel, new barrel in 1969 and aged it till 77. Oh, it was fabulous. Was it way better than the Old Crow you get now? Well, yeah. And he probably paid like $8 for it back then. And then I had Wild Turkey 101, but it's not bonded. You can get George Dickel bonded, Old Overholt bonded. You can get Early Times Bottle and Bond. Early Times. It's got a cobalt blue label, slate blue label. I haven't bought it. Wouldn't be opposed to. I've had the old Granddad Bottle and Bond. I've had that. It's good. I mean, it's really good. 100 proof. I'm doing this now because I splashed whiskey on my nose. I saw an Evan Williams bonded a few days ago. Yeah, that's a really popular one. Evan Williams white label, the Bottle and Bond. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's a real good one, I think. I tried a little sip of it at my friend's house. I said, it's good. I said, but it just tastes like bonded whiskey. I mean, I didn't have a chance to think on it and drink on it. But and then he bought this huge jug bottle of it, handle bottle. I said, what you bought that for? He said, what you think I bought it for? I bought it to drink. This smells more musty. Musty like an old attic, an old oak, no cedar trunk. And this one's more spicy. Now, which one is which? I really don't know. They both have a nice aroma, but one is more musty. I don't know how to. 90 proof versus 86 proof. So 45% alcohol versus 43. Is that going to be a big difference? Doesn't seem like a big difference. Let's go with the taste. Rye bread. Now, some people say the old Overholt is only 51% rye. That's the minimum. It has to be at least 51% rye to be rye whiskey. Does a whiskey have to be a predominance of any grain? Does it have to be at least 51% of some grain? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You could have 33.33% rye, 33.33% corn, 33.33% wheat. Wouldn't matter. It would just be a different class. It would be called blended whiskey, but in a different blend sense, a blend of straight whiskeys. Or it could just be a blend of whiskeys. It wouldn't be like what people think American blended whiskey, which is usually mostly just corn liquor, unaged raw corn liquor filler. But there's a lot of ways you could do it. It's really, you could do it any way you want. As long as you label a bottle correctly. It's going to be a tough one. Jeep and Foodie says it's going to be a good one. Yeah, and a tough one. Seem like there's more burn here. More of a burn. I can't quite say, though. Ronnie S. says, good morning, Ron. Good morning to you. Now, I didn't say I supported the Bottle and Bond Act. I just said that's what it's about. I am more not into regulations. So if I'd have been in Congress, I would have voted against it, you see, because private trade associations can handle that. You know, all the whiskey producers could make their own, like American Whiskey Producers Association, and they could have their own association regulations without any law, you see. Like you have the Louisiana Restaurant Association. You have the Rums of Puerto Rico Association. If you want to join that group, fine, join it. But there's certain guidelines you have to follow. The rum has to all be from Puerto Rico, common sense. Has to be aged at least 1 year. And there's some other protocols. It's like the Meat Inspection Act. People say, oh, we have to have that to have safe meat. Wrong. Because you have to use some sense. What would be the benefit of a meat company selling dangerous meat that would kill people? Wouldn't really help their business, would it? No, it wouldn't. Ask Jack in the Box. Ask Chipotle. Usually the regulations are done because the big companies want to muscle the little guy out. And that's why we know that Armour, Swift, and Hormel, the three big meat companies today, and they were the three big ones back then, were secretly in favor of the Meat Inspection Act, although they made public statements, it's terrible, it's socialism, blah, blah, blah. We hate this, fight against it. You see, that's what a lot of these companies do. They'll claim to be against something that they actually favor. And then the population, the public says, right on, give it, stick it to the big guy. Show him, you show him. And then all the little meat companies go out of business because they can't comply with these strict regulations. It's sort of like the story of Brer Rabbit. You know, don't you throw me in that briar patch. Oh, no, please don't throw me in that briar patch. Then they throw him in there and he's like, ha ha, dummy. Okay, just to let you know, I gave up alcohol for Lent. Oh, good idea. But I'd like to join one of your Wednesday night hangouts after that. Well, you know me. Anybody can join at any time, of course. I didn't give up. Beautiful language. Huh? I didn't give up liquor or wine or beer for Lent, but I did give up something. So somebody told me a week ago, last week, letting everybody join is communism or something like it's like communism. He sent me a private message. I said, no, communism would be requiring everybody to join. Then he blocked me and unfriended me. I thought, wow, what a maniac. All right, but I'm sorry, a lot of, we all know the internet attracts a lot of head cases. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they got to check your temperature and make sure you're wearing a mask to join the internet. They don't check your mental health. You know what I'm saying? You could just join and be crazy. And we know that's true just by, you say, how do you know? How do you know? Well, you judge a tree by its fruit. If you see cherries growing off a tree, you presume it's a cherry tree. If you see blackberries growing off a bush, you can safely assume it's a blackberry bush. And when you see people talking and acting crazy on the internet, you can pretty much assume that they're crazy. You say, what, they might just be putting on? Yeah, some people are, and you can see that. But the real crazy ones, you could tell, these days the big companies are all about being woke, but are they really? No, they're not really. They're just using that. But people fall for foolishness, It's funny how people will so easily be swayed and tricked. Do you ever use the Periscope app? Sad to see it go away. I heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. Yeah, all that stuff Ronnie's talking about, it's all a scam, because but they know, you see, they're smart though, but they know people are foolish and have not a whole lot of good sense. And so they can, manipulate the people. Not me. I'm more wise to that stuff. And I've been wise to it for a long time. But that comes through experience, not being some kind of genius. But, being aware, being awoke, being awoke to the true reality, not the pretend. So what Ronnie's talking about, when companies do all this stuff, they're sort of like in the movie The Wizard of Oz, or even better, the novel. The novel's much better, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. But they couldn't put everything in the novel in the movie. The movie would have been 10 hours long, so they just kind of like, they cut it up, and it's, well, really a different story. But it's still a good movie, but it's not what really the book was. But anyway, but when you see companies doing that, it's kind of like The Wizard of Oz, a humbug. It's a fake. He was scamming everybody in the land of Oz. They didn't know that. They fell for it. And he was exposed by Toto, actually. The dog exposed him. It took an animal with a good sense of smell to expose him. But, and they did put that in the movie too. But even Dorothy, who everybody thought had some kind of special insight, she didn't really. She just, a lot of strange circumstances happened. But it was exposed as a scam. And like Ronnie's saying, all this woke stuff is, I don't know why people fall for it. It's so clearly insincere. You know what I'm saying? It's clearly not genuine. They don't even believe what they're saying. But they figure, well, these sheeple, these animals, these proletarians, they'll fall for it. They got no sense anyway. They're so stupid. They play video games all day. They got no sense. They smoke psychedelics. They're stupid people. So they're not academic. They're not going to read. So it works. Oh, daylight's here. All right, now. Yeah. This one is a little more. Oh, it's hard to say it's stronger though, but it's more. This one is more. I think it's more crisp. It's got more of a rye bread crust. I'm not saying it's better. I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I'm not playing favorites here. I don't care. I'm not attached to Beam Suntory, and I have no special attachment to Diageo of all people, which is Guinness. You know, Guinness beer. That's who Diageo is. Guinness went and bought everybody, even bought Crown Royal. All right. So it's sort of like the one in my left hand is sweeter, and the one in my right hand is drier. Now, there's no way you could say one is better based on that. It'd be like saying, well, dry wine is better than sweet wine. You're using an opinion and making an objective statement. There's no sense to that. The intelligent thing to say is, in my opinion, or I would like to say that I prefer dry wine over sweet wine. That's fine. We can live with that. But to make a definitive statement like, and I've dealt with people on social media this way, they'll say fact. Now, a lot of times they're just joking, you know. Well, you could, you know, they're cool, you know, they're just using jocular humor. Well, you can understand that. They're not uptight and insane, but they'll say, you know, but some people are serious. They're not joking. That's the scary thing. They're like literally serious. Fact, dry wine is better than sweet wine. I'm like, hope you're kidding, but they're not, which is scary. There's no Kansas City Southern Railroad. There's no sense to that. It'd be like saying rye whiskey is better than bourbon whiskey. Oh, really? It's a personal preference thing. I don't ever, and if I do, I apologize preemptively because I cannot defend my own behavior if I do that. But I don't ever make subjective statements as a statement of fact. I always try to qualify my statements like, well, I think, or in my opinion, or it seems to me, or I just think I prefer, you know, those kind of qualifying statements. And in my opinion today, I think perhaps maybe, now this is not, I'm not even sure about my own opinion, but I think maybe I prefer this more drier, powdery, more like dry bread crust taste. It's like a dry bread with maybe a little bit of the flour still on. You know, you have the dusted with the flour over this one, which is more sweet. But I don't know, and I'm not really sure. So you say, well, now I know what you're going to say. Well, in that case, it's really a tie, isn't it? Yes, it is really a tie. Do I know which is which? I think I know. I think the Dickel is drier. I'm not really sure. So that brings us to the next tiebreaker. Price. Well, generally, Dickel will run you about $18 a bottle, and Old Overholt run about $16 a bottle. Now, I did pay $12.50 for the Dickel, but that was a totally outrageous price. Totally beyond any acceptable form of human expectation. No one is expecting to go to a store and find George Dickel for $12.50. And both bottles were $12.50, true story. So, of course, I immediately bought them. Then my friend David rushed over here and bought his bottle for $12.50. He said, what about the number 8? I said, I guess they sold out, you know. He said, why you didn't buy me some? I said, I don't know what you want. I can't alert everybody to every sale I see. I felt like Tom Hayden, you know, do I have to tell you about every job offer I turned down, you know? So due to the fact that Old Overholt is about $2 cheaper, I guess it's the winner. But $2, I mean, it's so close. But okay, but I'll say it's the winner. Okay, so now, wow, incredible. Old Overholt had a perfect score in these contests, 4-0, 4 wins, no losses. Now I got one out of the 3 so far. I couldn't get it right, but that's no big deal. But Old Overholt is the secret weapon of rye whiskey, apparently. It's one of those under the radar products. People pay no mind to it. It's considered like a lesser thing or whatever. But as it turns out, it isn't. Okay, okay, did you ever use the, oh, let's go down. Hi, Ron, I'm passing out. It's 4 a.m. Been drinking knuckle sandwich. Okay, sorry about that. I got up this morning at 2:40 a.m. Dr. Frosty Bruce says, cheers, Ron. Cheers to you. The sweeter one probably uses more corn, says Urjo. Yeah, which means what? Old Overholt, probably 49% corn. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I'm not an anti-cornite. I'll eat corn. I'll eat corn. I'll surf. I'll surf. Okay. You either fight or surf. Okay, anyway. So this is the Old Overholt. Is it better? No. But generally you'll save $2 buying it. So what the heck? All right. It's a fine product. It's a legendary product. Old Overholt is like no joke. It's been around since 1810 in different variations. You understand? The recipe has changed more than Hillary Clinton's policy positions. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm going to look at this glass label, and I think it's going to say OR, old. No, I think it's going to say OO. But I realized I put them in the wrong. I just realized now I put them in the wrong glass. I don't know why I did that. I put OR. I put Old Overholt in the OR glass. Other rye. You say, you've been drinking. Yeah, coffee. Was drinking coffee. So they can't blame it on that. So I think it's going to say OR, which is supposed to be OO, but I screwed up. I know. I remember doing it. Oh, it is the Dickel. Okay. Oh, wait. That's right. I did it backwards. So it is the Old Overholt. Get confused by my own confusion. So the Old Overholt is sweeter, like you said, Caleb. More Urjo. More corn, thus more sweetness. Right. And this is the Dickel, drier, like a rye bread crust. Yes. Yeah. I remember the Dickel being dry like that. Well, they're both fabulous. I'm serious. So which one would I buy? Both. Which one do I prefer? I prefer both. You know what I'm saying? I prefer both. They're both great. I don't mean they're like world class. Common sense will tell you that. But they're really good. Fine products. Oh, yeah. Charlie don't surf. Right. That's Charlie's point. Okay. Young Captain. All right. Air Mobile. Anyway, someday this war is going to end. Anyway. That's the end of this challenge, but get excited. I know you're getting excited. You say, oh, Lord, not this again. Another double up, eh? Yes. See, no. Yes and no. Later today, and sooner than later, honestly, we're going to do straight bourbon. So rye is going to go bye-bye for now. So good bye-bye to rye. But we're going to do ancient age, 90 proof. Fascinating product. 90 proof, but it's only aged 3 years, even though the website says 6. Wrong. Got to update your website, Sazerac. I can't pick on Sazerac too much. They always respond to my emails and even my phone calls, and they sent me some updated information about this tequila. And I said, good. So I needed a good answer. And they always give a good answer, meaning correct. So we've got ancient age, straight bourbon, introduced in 1936, although the company claims 1946. Even though I showed the company, your information is wrong. It's 1936. And it's going to go up against another Sazerac product. What is it going to be? Blanton's? It will be eventually, but I'm going to go up against Stedman Select, 86 proof. So I've got a 90 proof ancient age, aged 3 years, against Stedman Select, sold at Walmart, but I've seen it at other places, so it's not all Walmart. I thought it was a Walmart brand, but I was wrong because they had it at Total Wine & More, and I'm pretty sure we all know Total Wine & More is not Walmart. There it was on the shelf. Aged 3 years, but only 86 proof. So that's the qualifying thing. 86 proof, 3-year aged, 90 proof, 3-year aged. So I'm very curious to see how they're going to stack up. I think it's going to be impossible to tell them apart, which means Stedman Select's going to win, because Stedman Select, you can get a whole 1,750 milliliter jug glass bottle. True story. 1,750 milliliter bottle for $19.96 at Walmart. And I'm not. But wait, they lowered the price. It's like $19.56 now, or $19.59. Like, true story, it's less than $20. A huge jug bottle of straight bourbon whiskey, 86 proof. Hey, look, I don't make the products. I just tell you what I find, you know. So anyway, thanks for watching this video production. I have to go do a review for I don't mean right now at 6:20 a.m. I have some self-control. I don't hear any rain. I think I'm going to go walking. I'm going to do, oh boy, St. Arnold French press cold coffee Imperial Ale. Oh, man. It better be good. I paid too much for it. $6.99 a bottle. Regular size bottle, too.